This is Pod Populi.
Podcast for the people.
The Great Love Debate. It's the Great Love Debate.
The Great Love Debate. It's the Great Love Debate.
Hi again, everyone. It's Brian Howie. Welcome to The Great Love Debate, the world's #1 dating and relation podcast. Since 2015, I am here in the very fine studios of Pod Populi, podcast for the people. I am at the one in Boca Raton, Florida. I've got Ariane on the controls. Say hi.
Hello, hello.
I was reading the other day, there was a list that came out in Florida that listed like the 10 most romantic cities in Florida. And somebody started to bitch because Kissimmee, is that how you pronounce it? Kissimmee?
Yes.
Kissimmee
Kissimmee.
was on the list and Boca Raton was not. And I'm like, one literally is called Kissimmee and one is called Boca Raton, which means
Rat's mouth.
rat's mouth. There we go. All right, I'm going to take you guys back for a second. This is the 388th episode, at least that I know of this show.
You know what?
I want you to go back to episode 140, which was April 16th, 2018. That was almost 5 years ago. Not to toot my own horn, but I am here to toot my own horn. So on that episode, we recorded it live at the Bemelman's Bar at the Carlisle Hotel. Very fancy. We did it on location. My friend Sarah Gore, who's the host of NBC's Open House, she joined me there. I've been quite prescient about a lot of things in the love, dating, relationships world, but on that particular show, I did about a 12-minute soliloquy on the upcoming nuptials of one Prince Harry and one Meghan Markle, saying that A, they will not be happy, B, they will move to Los Angeles, and C, they would abdicate, move to LA, and I said C, the only answer for him was to open Harry's sandwich shop in Los Angeles. And I was willing to bankroll him, I was willing to fund it, I was like, this is not going to work out, I got a lot of crap from it, like, you're not a romantic, blah, 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 blah. So I wanted to do a deep dive, because as we record this now, Master Harry is doing he's on the cover of People magazine. He has absolutely no dignity, absolutely no balls. So I brought in some pros to help me out with this today. They've been on this podcast before. They've opened for me in our live shows several times. I've got Mia and Tiffany, the Crazy Rich Neighbors from Crazy Rich Neighbors. They've been doing their podcast for several years. I still don't know if they are the Crazy Rich Neighbors or they have Crazy Rich Neighbors.
It's a little both.
It absolutely is.
It's a little both. Now, one is married to, Tiffany's married to a subject of the United Kingdom. Is that a fair way to say him?
An Irish
Well, that's
citizen.
part of the United Kingdom.
No, only Northern Ireland is.
Oh, that's
the
true.
Republic of Ireland,
Yeah, they
from
split.
which my husband
and
hails.
you're a
is not.
Bahamian.
Yes, I am.
No longer part of the Commonwealth.
Oh, no.
Is she on the
Since
money?
1971. No. Well, yeah, she still is on the money. Yeah, we are still a part of the Commonwealth. I vote to
This is the
remove
closest
it.
I could come
You
to
wanna
a
add
couple of
what?
breaks.
But my husband
Yeah.
is German, and the royal family all are of Germanic descent.
That
They
is
are.
true.
They all
Okay.
vary if you trace it all back. So
Yes.
I made this point at the time because I had noticed from afar and sometimes up close that royals are very unhappy. And I thought that Meghan, being, I don't know, fourth lead on Suits, she auditioned for me one time. I did not
F-list.
hire her back in the day.
F-list.
So why did you not hire her?
She had no personality.
Oh.
So
F-list.
anyway, being a well-paid actress and living in Hollywood, I said, is a better life than being a royal and shaking hands
Well,
with
she
orphans.
apparently
And
agrees because
I
she
saw this
scooted.
going in. Diana was not happy.
No.
But she was also at a loveless marriage.
Charles was not happy.
No.
Ditto. He didn't pick, his wife was selected for him because she was a virgin.
That
No
was
other
unfair.
criteria
Grace.
really
That was unfair.
counted.
Princess Grace was absolutely not happy. She's
Yes.
another actress who gave it all up.
Yes.
And I laid all that out, and I'm like, this is doomed. If he loved her,
Right.
he should have at that time said, this is not for you. My
Right.
family's a little fucked up. I'm going to move to LA. I'm going to open Harry's sandwich shop and we're
No.
going to live there.
But that was not Meghan's world domination plan. She had this mapped out from the beginning.
So
okay?
see, that's what I think the mistake made. So this is where I got to ask Ariana a question. The two generations prior to you, you're 21,
Yes.
dreamed of being a princess.
Right.
Do you have that dream, or is that gone with this generation of independent young women?
No, because I've actually kept up with the royal family.
So
and I
you
would not want to be a part of it.
So you don't want it. You never like, oh my God, I want to be a prince. The fairy tale for you never really existed.
Yeah, too many rules.
Yes.
And too much. Yeah, I don't know.
This was
Like bowing down to people.
And you have to wear
No,
pantyhose. Like, who wants to wear pantyhose?
You do?
Nobody.
Yeah, that's a rule.
closed-toed shoe.
Yes, that's a royal protocol.
Yep.
So he's
No
on.
thanks.
So at the time, you think that if he had said, "I love you, you don't want to come into my family. Let's just live in," and I was close. I said live in Santa Monica. He's in Montecito, like 42 miles away.
Potato, right?
Right. And he did that. You think she would not have gone for that?
No.
Him giving up his royalty is not as
No,
romantic.
she wanted the cred of having an
Yes.
HRH for sure.
And she also wanted victimhood to be exactly
To
the
become-
position that they are right now. He has the #1 selling book in the history of all book sales.
They
in
got
the
what?
US.
How much was their deal with Netflix?
I mean, they've made $100 million
Right.
Yes.
off of whining.
Yes.
Right. But you had to be part of that family to have something to
Exactly.
trade and to have the stories to trade.
She wanted
So
that.
you think this is part of a master plan?
For her, yes.
Yes.
Huh.
But beyond that,
Okay, that's why I brought you in. Yeah.
but beyond that,
Yeah.
I think she is exploiting what happened with his mom and mirroring that to manipulate this poor man.
Well, and I also think he is so still traumatized by it that he is seeing Meghan in the crosshairs that like his mother was. However, I don't think that's accurate.
I don't either. He's that's a little bit of revisionist history by him.
Correct.
All they had to do, the old line in when you're dealing with paparazzi, you don't want people to chase you, stop running.
100%.
So they are now, we don't want the glare of this. If they had just stayed and never said a word, nobody would have paid any
Correct.
attention to them. I think she wouldn't have. That's where I think
They
she
won it,
wouldn't have
but
liked
they
that.
won it on their own terms.
And what are those terms? What is he hoping for? He was what, seventh? He's seventh in line to the throne.
He is making all of the rounds on the nighttime talk shows,
He's on
promoting
People
his
magazines.
book. He's on People magazine
He's
with
looking
his
crazy.
with
He's
his
doing
with his
podcasts.
hair retouched in. I might add.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's doing podcasts.
She has that terrible podcast. They want all the publicity, but they want to control the narrative, and they want it on their own terms.
So what is the end? What is the end game?
They wanted to profit because they couldn't profit to this extent when they were still part of the firm, as they call it. Sure, they got a little house remodel,
So he
Frogmore
inherited
Cottage.
about $20 million from his mother.
Correct.
That's not enough.
Not the way she wants to live.
Do you get a credit card as a royal? Do you get all expenses? But can you just buy what you want? Is it like the Pope?
There's no freedom in that. I
Well,
don't think so.
If he's just like, I want a house, can they buy a house?
She said,
Are they
that-
like a Kennedy?
She said that their cottage looks like a frat house. That's
Yeah,
what
but
he said. She said
no,
about
that
their
was
cottage.
his cottage as a bachelor. Okay, William and Kate got like 2 palaces when they got married. When he married Meghan, they got Frogmore Cottage. It's the same deal. That was just his bachelor crash pad.
So how much
he
money?
probably didn't even care then.
Now, but they could have done this without the messiness. Couldn't they have been like,
How would they have made $100 million
Who?
by shaking hands and
what if
kissing
she?
babies?
What if they just said to Elizabeth, the late Elizabeth, or
Right.
whoever makes the rules here, say, listen, she's not. Your dad abdicated.
Well, not her dad, her uncle.
Who was the king?
Her Elizabeth's father, George, was the king.
And he left.
David, no,
No, it
he
was the
didn't.
uncle.
The uncle left, and then Elizabeth's father took on. He had been
Okay.
the Prince of Wales.
So-
he was second
so
in line.
there's a-
Elizabeth's father
and-
took over.
He left for a woman, right?
Wallace Simpson, an American.
Right.
We have a terrible
Actress.
track
Correct.
record
So
as
there's-
Americans.
So what if he went to Grandma back on April 16th, 2018, when I said Harry's
and said,
Sandwich
my
Shop?
friend Brian had this
Yeah,
great
you listen.
idea.
First of all, it's a really good episode. Listen to the whole thing, but it starts at about 30 minutes. We get into this whole
First of all, I'd like to
Word
ask why
for
we're
word.
not at a bougie bar.
why we're not at Bemelman's in
Yes.
New York. I don't know. Good point. It's awesome. Have a drink at Bemelman. Do a podcast there. It was delightful. It was in a booth. Anyway, if he went to her at the time, and he told both his wife to be and his grandma, say, listen, I think I can do a lot of good. She's very comfortable in Hollywood. I'm not sure this is going to fit. I can see the train coming down the road of we're going to get some crap. We're just going to go there now. We cool with this, Grandma? Can I have some money? And Grandma would probably have said like, okay, here's $40 million.
That
The
wouldn't have been
sandwich
enough.
shop would have been awesome because I would have helped him. It would have been the new Earl of Sandwich. and And how much? And then she's still working in Hollywood.
She
She's still an
wants
actress.
global domination and fame. I mean,
So she-
threatening suicide, wearing his mom's perfume. It's like she's a narcissist.
Okay.
I'm serious. I think she's a narcissist.
The Grace
I actually
Kelly
back you on
example,
that.
though, like there was Grace Kelly was a bigger actress than Meghan Markle ever. was.
Huge. 100%.
Yes.
She was
gave
not
it
a
up.
suitcase girl on Deal or No Deal.
Okay.
people.
Their kids aren't happy. Royalness, I mean, it's very well publicized. It doesn't seem fun.
Listen, we're not blaming them for.
I'd love
for
to give it a
moving
try,
away.
though.
I wouldn't.
Would
I'd
you?
rather cry in a mansion than cry in a
But she
hovel.
probably had a mansion.
It's too much
I agree.
control. You know, they want world domination on their terms. They don't want to play second fiddle. They feel competitive with Will and Kate, and there's no competing with them. They're next in line. You will all forever be the spare.
So he knew, right. So they knew they were the spare. So this is like, we're going to just rattle this ancient cage and we're going to create a fortune out of it. This was the master plan.
If they went quietly into the night, they would not make the bankroll they're making right now.
See, I think the I'm going to protect my wife move, which was, I hear people saying like, oh, he's doing this to protect his wife, was before. And that's what I said at the time. Do this now.
I never saw her being hunted.
She's not hunted.
Diana was hunted.
Listen,
Yeah, I don't think anybody paid attention to them.
if the paparazzi,
I never saw that happen to Megan. Did I miss something?
If the paparazzi stopped following them, they would lose their shit.
And you
okay?
can't say that like, oh, we want a quiet life, and you're living between Oprah and Ellen
Correct.
in Montecito.
Like, why can't you just focus on saving the earth while you do your little private
Because
jetting
that
all
is
around the
virtue
world?
signaling.
I
Correct. They are
know.
private jetting while they're telling the rest of us to count
not
our
even-
carbon credits.
But guess what? They can't cash in on that.
All right,
Imploding the royal family.
We got to take a quick break. We're going to dive in. We're going to map out a plan to their future happiness. I've got Mia and Tiffany from Crazy Rich Neighbors here. Ariana the controls. We will be back right after this. And we are back. So we're going to lay this out. So I believe that they got a big pile of money.
Mm-hmm.
I think for them, this is a PR disaster, especially for him. He looks like he has no balls and he's a little bit crazy. He's a whiny baby.
I'd love to know where his balls are being housed.
I mean,
they're not in
in
his
Meghan's
pants.
hands.
Yeah, I mean, he
Being
was in
crushed.
the military for a long time. Props for him for that.
Did he really kill 25 Taliban?
And he's
don't
bragging
think so.
about it, but
Whatever.
now what?
He was protected in the army.
Now
I'm sure.
what's the next move? They have the money.
DIVORCE.
I don't think so because Meg's
that's
book's
it?
coming.
Let's get Laura Wasser on the phone.
What do we know? What do we know about the first husband? Hers. He's a producer
Trevor.
too.
Yes.
A producer.
Is he a big
Handsome.
He
No.
looks like a frat boy.
Yeah.
So she didn't come out of that with a bunch of money.
No. I think she
She
outgrew
probably
him.
made more.
Yeah.
She had to live in Toronto to film Suits. He was in Los Angeles. It fell apart. He's remarried.
Will she go back to acting?
She can't act. So we hope not.
Well, she's acting like a pain in the ass.
She was a Deal or No Deal girl.
She was.
That's the time when when
here's
she
my
auditioned
thing.
for me. She was a suitcase girl.
If she really was that talented, write some scripts, pitch some shows,
You
go
can't
back
think.
to acting.
You know who almost went back to acting very late in life?
Who?
Nancy Reagan.
Oh,
Do you know that movie that Albert Brooks did with Debbie Reynolds really late?
yes,
What's it
Mom.
called? Mom.
I love that movie.
He wrote that for Nancy Reagan.
No.
Wow.
She really thought about it after, and she was still taking care of
Ronnie.
and she didn't do it. But she was
such a
like,
cute
I
couple.
think I want to do this.
Oh, that would have been cute. But
Yeah.
Debbie Reynolds killed it too.
Yeah. So Meghan Markle, though, I think, what is the next move? Because they're sitting up there.
Well,
She's not really on. He's doing the press now.
right. Well, there's
That probably
rumors
bothers
that
her.
she might run for political office.
What?
Yes.
Where? In
Probably
California?
Cali. Yeah.
You know, when Gavin becomes the president,
Oh
they're going
my
to need
God.
a governor in California.
And then she's going to be an ambassador to England and get sent back.
But you
No,
guys,
she'd never.
Who do you think's up next for the big book and book tour? Meg's. Her
Yeah.
book is already written. That's next.
They have
have
a three.
multi.
They have a 3-book deal.
Yes.
So
Her,
this is,
him, them.
Her, probably him.
there is supposedly a book by both of them on leadership and achievement or something like and,
Jesus.
and
But-
That'll come
philanthropy.
last.
But so there's going to be some saturation. How long does she have to wait for her book to come out?
I think this year sometime it's coming out.
Really?
Yes.
Well, Harry's killing it with his, so this will nicely springboard into hers. Bitch fest.
Well, they have to,
Has she patched things up with her family?
No.
So she messed up 2 families,
Yeah.
at least.
That's her superhero power.
But
Yeah,
you
I
know
know.
what?
See, so the end game for him, because we're always on the side of
Hashtag free Harry.
putting
Yes.
relationships back together.
Are we?
Yeah,
'Cause me and
think
I
we're-
aren't.
I am. I'm very.
You are.
I'm very romantic.
Me and
I'm
I-
very pro work it
See,
out.
we call it like we see it, and sometimes when it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
You don't think
He's
she
so pee-whipped.
loves him?
I think she loves what he has brought to her world and this amazing, like he catapulted her into global stardom.
If she met him and he was not titled, do you
She
really
wouldn't be
think?
friends
Oh my
with Serena
God.
Williams.
Well, she would be with him in the first place.
He's
if he
so
was just an
broken.
average guy, you really think?
Please.
She'd
If
be
he was
dropping the
running
panties?
Harry's
He used to
sandwich
be
shop,
hot.
Right.
He used to be hot. You know what I mean? When he had
well, I
like
can't
swag.
judge. He's better looking than his brother.
No, I don't think so. I mean, he used
It's
to.
tough
For
on the
me,
ginger.
I used
First
to
of
be.
all-
I like ginger, so I used to be team him
When
when
you
he was young.
have all this money, get some hair replacement.
Yes. Why aren't they doing that?
Because I think it's noticeable if you get it.
it doesn't
Yeah,
matter
but if
where
they
cap.
started when they were young with
Yeah.
the PRP treatments and
so
all of that,
subtle.
If you don't want to be bald, there's no reason to be bald.
especially when you're rich, you know, you can't. There's no reason why a rich person should be ugly. Okay,
But I thought both of the brothers were
Tell
very
that to
handsome.
Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, gross.
You know. So if
but his wife was hot.
so, I get probably they probably wouldn't have even met if he was not a royal. But you could probably say the same thing about Kate and William too. You know, I mean, you can say that about anybody.
Yeah, but she
if
was
he
a
wasn't
normal
rich and she
girl.
wasn't attractive, whatever.
She's pretty.
At
She
some point, though, she's like, "Oh my God, I've got my claws into the non-future King of England. This just like the spare." And that's better for her than trying to be a higher rung actress in
Yes,
Hollywood.
because she never would have made it because she sucks at acting.
Look, in
She
fairness,
was pretty. She
I
was
did
beautiful.
enjoy Suits, and I did enjoy her when she was on the show. And you and I both were really happy when they got married, and we were really into it. And then she turned.
I know. Now we're
You know,
like,
they both
we can't stand her.
turned.
So what's the play here? Wait till her
Divorce.
book. Well, we say that.
I
We
don't
said
think
that
that's
about
going to
said that
happen.
about Melania and Donald, and they're still together.
She's got the golden handcuffs. Okay,
It
that
will
ain't happening.
not.
But
It will. She will not divorce him, and he will not. He is so
William.
in love with her.
Harry, when he hits his 40s, is going to have this awakening, and he's
think?
going to realize. I do.
Okay.
he's going to realize.
and then what? He's the Bachelor.
Yeah.
Is that the next move for him?
100%.
You hit her. You heard it here
He's got
first,
the
you guys.
mansion. Prediction. Crazy
Mark
Rich
this
Neighbors
episode.
prediction.
Let me bring in the younger girl here, Ariana. Do you find what he's doing attractive? Do you think he's being chivalrous and talking and saying he's protecting his wife, or does he come off to you as a whiny baby?
See, before when I initially watched the show, I kind of felt bad for them, but now hearing you guys' opinion, it's kind of shifting.
Well,
'Cause I never thought about it like
I feel better. That
Well,
was
you're entitled to have your own opinion.
No, I know, but
independent
I
of
didn't
ours.
know all these facts that you guys know.
You're talking
So
about
now it's kind of like
about Harry's sandwich.
'Cause
Shop.
she
You didn't know
doesn't-
about that. So the Netflix show was produced by them. It was edited by. It was their point of view, and it was like our thing. The more he's out there, though, on his own, unscripted, even though he's in very cushy environments, answering these questions. My main thing is like, why are you throwing your brother under the bus? Like,
Money.
What did I know? But what did William do to him?
Why are you releasing private texts between Catherine and Meghan? Like that is so ghetto and low. Like,
I agree.
come on.
Well, that's what I don't
Everybody
understand.
has family drama.
Because that
it's
is
not
their-
cute.
The
That's-
worst thing that he's claiming that his brother did to him was what?
Fighting
with
over
him.
the dog bowl.
You know how many
Right.
fights my sister and I had? We
I
nearly
know.
killed each other.
Their
That's
fights,
a nothing burger.
You know, if they're going to say we were very traumatized by our mother's death, which I get,
Yes.
Fair enough.
why can't you give your dad, your grandmother, the whole family a bit of a, we went through a tough time. It wasn't great. It's hard to be a royal.
Right.
What are you whining about?
Right.
I don't know, you know?
It gets tiresome.
Right.
You know, my other thing with them is
They have 2 kids?
they have 2 children. The double standard, do as I say, not as I do, with their carbon policy, and then they're flying all over on PJs. It's just so hypocritical.
I know.
Do we know the children's names?
Archie and Lilibet.
Yes. And the
Is
queen
that
was
a
not
boy?
happy.
Is a boy there?
a
Archie.
boy.
Does the boy leapfrog him?
No.
No.
He doesn't.
No.
Man, that child has some serious red hair.
Plus, Archie is in line after the Prince and Princess of Wales's children.
Right.
Yeah.
So it goes William, William's son 1, William's son 2.
Yes.
No, it goes William, George, Charlotte, then Louis,
Oh,
Charlotte
I forgot.
gets
Sorry,
it?
ladies. There
Oh,
could be-
Yes.
that's awesome.
and then Harry and Archie. So Archie is 5th actually William's first, so actually Archie would be 6th in line
That's
right now.
crazy.
So
But
Meghan Markle's essentially Fergie, who turned out to be a huge grifter, by the way. Do you know what's going on with her?
Whoa.
so is Meghan.
Yes.
No, I know this, but afterwards, everybody kind of liked Fergie and nobody really paid attention.
Yeah.
Like, she's getting all her bills
Well,
paid
she
by
sold-
Epstein. She sold
She
out.
sold access to Andrew.
Yes.
To what was that?
Like the Inquirer or
foreign
something.
national.
She's still better than Andrew, though, because at least she's not a pedophile.
She
Yeah, but
took
she
the
was-
money from Epstein, too.
Yes, but
Yeah.
It's crazy.
they're all like it's a cesspool.
But like we were talking today on our podcast with Harry now saying that he was born to be an organ donor
to
for
William.
I mean, that is
He
so,
certainly wasn't a hair donor.
You guys, that's crazy.
If I know, and if that's the case, he didn't just. If that's the case, he didn't. Yeah,
Nobody
he
wants
could be
that
a hair
ginger
donor.
hair.
Nobody
I
wants
love
the ginger.
I love gingers. Me.
He knew this before he married her.
Correct.
So why not listen to the Great Love Debate podcast on April 16, 2008? I'm sure he heard it.
You're really taking this hard, Brian.
And say, you know what? Let's get married and let's do the sandwich shop thing that
Brian
we
wants
wouldn't
me to do.
because we would not be here talking about them on this podcast.
I mean,
What
you
if he
can't-
opened a souvenir shop selling like British paraphernalia?
So
It wasn't allowed.
You think she's putting him up to this, or he had this decades of
she
festering?
masterminded this.
I agree.
But he's sick. He's mentally ill. He's broken, and she is taking
I
advantage of this.
guarantee you he's going to have a great awakening.
Has
and-
he? Well, I mean, the Brits. No offense to Brits, I'm a quarter Brit.
So much. Well, no,
We're
I'm
all a quarter
14%.
Brit, I suppose. Are taught to
Suck it
not
up,
show
Buttercup.
emotion, suck it up, stiff upper lip, the
Yeah,
whole
but he's
thing.
not sucking it up.
Oh, he's a
Did
whiny
he
baby.
say if he went to therapy?
Yes.
He does. I will give him credit for that.
Did he,
does,
or he
and
does now?
He does.
But
and
he does this
has.
therapy thing like this with the
the
heart
fizz
over
joke
the
is that?
chest. Like he says, like his therapist taught him this.
But-
And after the fight with Will, when Will threw him down on the dog bowl, he called his therapist before he called Meg's.
What?
That's
did-
how important she is to him.
Oh yeah, the dog bowl thing. So he's how old?
Too old for this.
Is she? She's older than him, though, right?
She is. Yeah.
Yes.
He between the time he got out of the military and the time that we noticed him again,
Right.
what was he doing?
Well, he was dressed
'Cause
as
he
a
doesn't play
Nazi
polo,
for a
right?
fancy dress party. He was
Which he blamed
naked
Will
in
and
Las
Kate's.
Vegas at a party.
But those were in his early
He
20s.
did
He was a
start
party
the
boy.
Invictus Games, which is like the Olympics almost for like wounded military.
Yeah, yeah.
So I do give him props for that.
But do you guys remember how tight the three of them were? Like Will's,
Yes.
Kate, and him. Like they were so tight. Like you would see them together
And doing
pictured and look
supporting
like-
causes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
We're pro Kate.
We are.
Yes. Yes, she's queen material. She is. She knows how to.
So are
So
we, though,
she
Boo.
will be. She'll be queen.
She will.
Do we know where? I'm getting really off track here. Where did Elizabeth meet Philip, and how old were they?
She was
she
just
already
a
queen?
teenager. No, she was
she
a
wasn't.
young
Young.
woman. And she had a crush on him immediately.
He was hot.
He was a naval officer.
From like Greece.
Greece.
Yeah.
Yes. And then he went to sea and they wrote letters to one another.
And at
And-
the time, she was what?
Oh, I don't
She
remember
was
the
just
but
the
she was
Princess of
But
Wales
she
or
was
something.
in training.
Yeah, her father was the king and she was
Harry.
no, she was basically William.
She's William.
She was
Yeah.
second in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And so when the uncle abdicated, that put her up in the line.
Well, by the time she met Philip,
Yeah.
her father was king.
See, I don't have a problem. People think I'm very, snarky and all that. I don't mind the royal shit because it's entertainment and it gives.
Yes.
It's no different for me.
Like
from
reality TV.
People like it. It makes people happy. It gives people something to talk about. I'm fine if some people want to be. I don't envy them.
No.
I don't want. Like, would you rather be a royal or a Kardashian?
A Kardashian.
A royal.
See, I'd rather be a Kardashian.
Yes. I would
No,
have
the
to,
royal thing
girl,
seems
they will be telling you
terrible.
which color nail polish to wear. You want
Yeah,
that?
you want open-toed shoes.
You want to be like
I don't want to be
curtsying?
married to all these men the Kardashians are married to.
Well,
no
that-
offense, ladies,
that's
but
different.
y'all don't pick
You
good
would
partners.
pick better. You
Well,
would
the
change
royals
your
don't
game.
seem to pick.
Well,
don't-
William
The,
did.
He
who's
picked great.
the hot one from Jordan? What's her name? Noor?
Raina.
Oh,
no.
she's gorgeous. Yes, Nora.
Was she American?
I don't think so.
She's just Jordanian?
I think so.
Well, how come she's allowed to be sort of a modern woman and not?
I don't know. I'm only an expert in British royalty, not the.
Can we look
other
that up?
royal
Can we look up the
families.
Queen of Jordan, please? And then like the young ones in Sweden.
They're beautiful, gorgeous.
I just got back from Thailand. The no offense, don't kill me when I go to Thailand. The idiot son who took over the throne there.
Oh my God.
He's just like living in Germany with like a bunch of chicks, and they're
It's
not allowed to like
crazy.
talk about it in Thailand.
Who's running the country?
There's like shrines to him and pictures to him all over the place, and they're the dirty little secrets. Like he's not even here.
Oh,
That's
snap.
crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not a secret anymore.
It's
I-
out,
he's-
baby.
Loose
He's
lips
sitting
Howie
there in
over here.
Germany. He's in Munich somewhere, being like, "You take out Howie next
Von
time he
Moss
comes to Chiang
Schnitzel.
Mai." Yeah.
Don't let him
Terrible.
bomb our beautiful studio in Boca, darling.
All right. Final thoughts here. What piece of either one? First of all, you, Tiffany, prediction for them, and then piece of advice for them.
Well, I not to be redundant, but I do think he's going to have a great awakening in his 40s. There will be a divorce. I would say to Harry, get some testosterone supplements because your balls have shrunk and shriveled, and get your power back, boo.
Reconciliation.
She's just a lot. Megan, like, calm down, bish. Okay,
Okay.
Totally.
stand by your man, but
Mia, prediction and piece of advice.
My prediction for this couple will be that Harry will continue to stay with this woman because she's bewitched him with her punani. And when she sees it going down south, she will further manipulate him and spit out maybe another baby
she
through her
getting old,
punani
though,
or
boo.
through a surrogate.
yes.
And I feel like he's lost his power and his divine masculine energy.
He has small dick energy.
And I see them staying together for the long haul, and he's imploded the royal family. It's forever changed. Whether we like it, agree with it, disagree with it, it's changed it. Mm-hmm. And maybe I think this will create a more enlightened, a different type of royal family.
Oh, I don't think so.
It's not going to change it like fundamentally,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like they're cognizant of what the world, these bombs coming at them, and they're going to have to do a little bit of brand damage control, right?
I don't
All
think
right.
so.
My prediction. So my dream of Harry Sandwich Shop, I believe, is dead.
Oh,
Yes.
shit, balls.
Totes
I
dead.
think when Charles, how old is Charles? 70s.
74-ish.
Okay. I think Charles puts in 10 years.
10?
I think he steps aside. I think William takes over. And at that point, I think the reconciliation happens and Harry goes back and has a whatever the version of vice president is, and they sort of co-rule.
Well, that's convenient because at that point, Harry and Meghan's money will have run out.
But then won't the kids be a lot older, though? George, the oldest child, and
George.
Charlotte will be
I
a little
think-
bit older.
I think
so
they will return. I think they will return to London because I think they'll realize they're old news in LA
Yeah.
without
Oh,
owning
yes.
a good sandwich shop, and she
Ooh.
can't act. There's nothing for them to do.
Yes.
They're kind of a one-trick pony here. I think William opens the door, gives him a position to
And a
return
fish and chip shop?
with
Okay.
with dignity, and that's my prediction. So
All right.
on episode
Okay.
655,
You'll have
10
us
years
back
from
and
now,
we'll
God
see what
willing.
happens.
we will have to revisit.
Let's go
that.
to a better bar next time. Okay?
All right. Tell everybody where they can find
Crazy Rich Neighbors is on all podcast platforms. Y'all check us out.
Or check us out on Instagram at Crazy Rich Neighbors or on Facebook at CRM Podcast.
Thanks for having us, Brian.
Ariana, do you have a prediction for the future of the spare, the non-air spare,
The organ donor.
the organ donor?
I think he's up for a rude awakening as well.
Okay,
I
all
think they're
right,
like.
okay.
I think they'll be old news, but before her book comes out.
What?
Yeah, I think it'll be like
Ooh, I
we've
love
heard everything.
this.
Nobody
Right.
cares.
What else is there?
Yeah, literally.
I think William is the one who opens the door. I think it's 10 year.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
you
a
heard it here,
long
folks.
All right,
game
this
plan.
was fun as far as us and Crazy Rich Nevers. As always, like, share, follow. Please review this podcast and their podcast. Your reviews mean a lot in the podcasting ecosystem. Shoot us an email, greatlovedebate@gmail.com, if you have a thought or a prediction, or you want to go in with me and invest in Harry's sandwich shop, and we'll drive up to Montecito and pitch it to him.
It's fish and chips in England.
Or his fish and chips in England. Go to greatlovedebate.com. Our 10th season of live shows is on sale, and we kick it off right here February 16th in the aforementioned Boca Raton, Florida, Rat's Mouth at the Boca Black Box Center for the Arts. Because, as always, at the Great Love Debate, we never stop making love. See you next time.
The Great Love Debate. It's the Great Love Debate.